On TV, online, and on your smartphone. This is Ticker News.
The Green Edition, in association with the Root brand, inspiring greatness with natural solutions for people to reach their highest and healthiest potential.
Hello and welcome to the Green Edition, exploring hot topics and challenges in the world of business, economics and health. Now, across the US, the subject of heavy metals and environmental toxins is certainly heating up. But what exactly are these heavy metals that surround us in everyday life? Let's bring in CEO and founder of the Root brands, Clayton Thomas. Clayton, such a pleasure to have your company. Welcome back. Firstly, what are zeolites? What are we talking about here?
So thanks for having me, Brittany. This will be fun. We get the green edition with the green background for the first time.
Yes, it's perfect.
Zeolites are a class of minerals and crystals and clays that were formed from volcanic eruptions that actually were nature's response to one of the aspects of volcanic eruptions, which is the emission of these toxic heavy metals, as you mentioned. But in the formation of a lot of our terra firma, it was volcanic eruptions that created these. So in that process, a lot of the ash mixed in different lake and seabeds that form these different crystalline formations and different clay formations that act as molecular sieves to grab onto and absorb and adsorb environmental toxins naturally. So they've been used for millennia for their ability to do just that. It's water cleanup or other remediation.
Wow, so it sounds like they've certainly been around for a very long time. So if we're talking about zeolites, you've mentioned that they come from volcanic ash and, they've been around for centuries. People have been using them. But what are people using them for today?
So what people will commonly see them in without understanding what they're being used for: water filtration. So most municipal water systems will use charcoal and they'll use clinoptilolite or other zeolites. One zeolite that people are probably very familiar with that is not used anymore is asbestos. And it was used initially because of its ability to bind water, but then the molecular structure and the makeup of the crystal found to cause mesothelioma if you inhaled it, and the needle-like structure got in your lungs. So we don't use that as much anymore. But kitty litter is clinoptilolite because of its ability to bind nitrogen and ammonia. It's also used in water remediation, soil remediation, agriculture. If you're a beef fan and you love Wagyu beef, the difference in Japanese Wagyu beef versus all other Wagyu beef is the fact that the Japanese actually feed their cows large amounts of clinoptilolite on a daily basis in a powdered form, which helps detoxify the cows, decrease their nitrogen output, increase their lean mass. And by detoxifying them, they get really, really good fat and they taste amazing.
They certainly do. I mean, Australian Wagyu beef is also up there, but we know the secret now, Clayton, because of you. Japanese beef, of course, also amazing. Now, you're mentioning all of these features about zeolites and, just talking about Wagyu just goes to show how amazing what happens in the ground and goes all the way up to the cow. But when we talk about humans, how can zeolites be used? We know you're very passionate about the Root brands. No doubt you're using them in your products as well.
Yeah, so one, you have the current use of how they're used in our lifestyle. What we've been able to do with Root, because of Dr. Christina Rahm's background, being a Harvard nanobiotechnologist and bioscience engineer with 20 years of biotech history, doing cloning and molecular design and other components, she actually figured out how to take this amazing crystal and break it apart and make it more bioavailable and exchangeable. And she actually unlocked one of the most valuable components of this amazing little crystal, which has been very well published over the last 30 years, which is the bioavailable silica component. So you have an amazing structure in Root Clean Slate that has the ability to grab onto and trap and remove these toxic metals, these mold spores, these fragments, these other environmental pollutants and chemicals, but simultaneously delivering the key trace minerals and the bioavailable silicate that your body needs for regeneration. So you're starting the process of removal and regeneration simultaneously, unlike anything that's ever been done before.
And it's very clear that zeolites are something that need to be added into everyday routine. Clayton, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Brittany.
There we had Clayton Thomas, CEO and founder of the Root Brands. Thank you for his time today. And now, whilst the Root Brands is the presenting sponsor of this program, all opinions and views in the following segment are general in nature. That's the program for now, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.